So this is an example of a woodland creation scheme funded under Countryside Stewardship. We're just south of Ottery, St Mary in Devon. We're on the River Otter. The land that's planted snakes down the River Otter. It's narrow field. The riverbank erodes quite regularly. It made real sense to plant trees here. They came to us under the Countryside Stewardship scheme and said, was it feasible? So first of all, I would do a desk-based exercise to see is it reasonable to plant trees here. Had to consult with various other agencies such as the Environment Agency because of flooding in Ottery St Mary, but everyone was really happy. The owner was very happy, I think, to plant them and have a use for this strip of land. Heavily dog walked, so we couldn't fence it. So the agent came up with a proposal of trees and tree shelters, which makes perfect sense. You couldn't fence it, there's just far too much public access. The site probably needs a weed now. That's what the grant is supposed to help to pay for. There is also a maintenance payment subsequently if you wish to apply for it to help with weeding. But the advantage of woodland again here is the amount of wildlife that's appearing. We're surrounded by martins and swifts as we speak, and that's because there's an awful lot of insect life in here. We want to see woodland established, but that doesn't mean to say this has to be bare earth sprayed with pesticide every couple of months. You just need to establish your trees sensibly, make sure they're growing well, and they, the benefits to wildlife will follow. In terms of flooding, that's one of the big reasons this was planted. One of the big reasons we went for trees in tree shelters. He could have applied for fencing, but as I say, with the amount of public access, it would be problematic. Plus fencing, you tend to get debris washed up against it. We are on a floodplain, this does flood, so hopefully debris will just swirl past these shelters and the shelters will remain standing. It's elements like that you have to give a bit of thought to. Elements like that we can help with because we've seen it before most of the time, so we have experience of what will and won't work on some of these sites. So that's part of my job, would be coming out, helping with the initial application, doing a site visit, discussing options, hopefully agreeing with the owner and the agent the best way forward before sending the application on to be processed. So just some specifics about Woodland Creation Grant. It's open all year round, so you can apply any time of year. Whatever planting season you're aiming for though, we would need at least 5 months lead-in time to process the application and provide you with a contract. There is a maintenance grant to help you establish your woodland. It's payable at £200 per hectare per year for 10 years. As you can see on a site like this, it's so fertile you will have really heavy weed growth. You will need to maintain this in order to establish it. It's about 10 hectares, so the owner here, if he applies for the grant, would receive £2,000 per year to help towards that maintenance. If you've already got a Woodland Creation Grant, you have 2 years to do the work in from the date the contract was issued. You need to start planning very early on in order to make sure you have enough plants, contractors lined up, your ground is adequately prepared to plant in, etc. Check with nurseries, have they got stock for you? Check with contractors, are they available? If you need fencing, is there a fencing contractor? All those sorts of elements, the sooner you start to plan for them, the better your outcome will be.